Welcome back. The current world #1 is out there in the lineup, looking to extend her lead on the Jeep leaderboard. She's up against Laura Enever, who has been one of the more impressive performers right through to these final heats. They're going to get rid of at the end of the year. They dropped their 2 worst results. Tyler's got a massive lead. Carissa Moore, she's winless this year, so she really needs to win this contest to get herself up into the mix.
And I think, you know, what's pretty, I would say, if you're micro, you're trying to beat that into Tyler's head. You know, pretend this is your first victory ever.
Okay, well, here goes right now. 26.5 minutes to go. And even though that wave was short, I think some very positive signs, Ross, just on the speed in which she flowed down the line then.
Yeah, I agree. That surfboard, you know, it's becoming more crucial because, you know, we're at the tail end of this swell. It does lose a bit of energy, so you need a little help from your equipment just to give you that speed and that float across the surface of the water. And you know, she definitely had some zip through that little snap there. And you can tell just by there's no bogging of the rail. She didn't recover. Just a little snap right there. So she was ready to go. Obviously that wave did not provide any kind of platform for her, but you know, Tyler looking all set. Laura, she's been deadly on these left-handers. You know, again, she kind of has that low, crouchy stance and where you're not quite sure what she's going to do when she bottom turns, which really gives it that X factor that the judges seem to love.
And was relying on a QS finish to keep her place on the championship tour, and she's always sort of hovered around that requalification mark as we see Tyler Wright just drifting that tail. Gave up on that turn, was forced to give up on it, so she'll head back out. Laura's got priority, nothing separating these competitors at the moment, no big scores locked in. She's looking down the line. This wall's quite extended, it's reaching out, it's not the biggest wave, but Laura sees some opportunity. So instantly, her goal is to get some speed so she can power down the line, and unfortunately, with those lumps and bumps out there, she just gets caught behind. We're going to check in with our first semi-finalist here.
It was kind of, I don't know, a little bit confusing what we were coming in for, and then to find out after. And, you know, I didn't get any kind of creepy feelings out there, and fish are just the same a part as the ocean as we are. And
backhand turns like we saw her do earlier in the day. Both of them having a look at this one.
Here goes Laura Enever, and she is going to just kick off the back of that one. She's got a little caught behind Tyler Wright. She went the right, and she throws everything at it, but doesn't quite make it. So that wave for Tyler just sort of reminds me a little bit, Ross, of her first round performance, where she just started going, I think, for big turns just a little too early.
I agree. You know, she has to have that awareness of, you know, what's going on in this heat. Nobody has scores. You want to start chipping away. You know, even if this wave was, you know, it was a bit of a closeout. It was a fast one. She could have taken advantage of a couple of big turns. Instead, she went for a progression, and you know, she really went for a big tail slide, which is always going to be risky if you're, you know, you don't have. And
just both of them having trouble putting themselves in the right position. Here's Tyler having a good hard paddle.
Yeah, a couple of falls already. Let's see what Tyler can do with this one. First turn is strong. A lot of water moving off that rail. Plenty of power in this athlete surfing. She rolls on through to the inside. The wave's starting to fade away. But Tyler, a specialist in these knee-high conditions. She can really jam out some impressive moves, even when a wave tapers off like that. Just over 18 minutes to go. We'll bring up a replay in just a moment. Pretty strong first turn there, Ross.
Not bad at all, especially considering that she's had a couple of falls in this heat. You know, that's when you get all that adrenaline pumping through your body, and it's in a bad way. You know, you start feeling the shaky feet, and you know, you start surfing tentative. So right here, she's just trying to plant a score and keep her feet attached to the board. Nice cut back there, flowing through there, and then got that rail involved. We all know how strong Tyler is, so not a bad couple of moves, especially considering, you know, she was trying to get rid of that that scar tissue of having a couple of early mishaps there with those tail slides. So I don't think it's going to be a huge score, but the fact that she caught a decent sized set wave and put down 3 decent turns, she's going to draw first blood here.
Climbs up over that section. There's some of that, just that small wave game, which you need. You need to have it. you can't just rely on the conditions being quality at every location. Barton Lee's saying that he sees the advantage for Laura on the backhand, and that's what this North Narrabeen local is going to stick with. Just got a little slap down by that second section there. Just over 16 minutes to go, and Laura, she should get back out there for priority. She's got to put her head down and paddle hard.
And both these guys having a slow start, heading towards the halfway mark, and really not too many, a score really on the board. Like Ross said, that last one from Tyler will be something, but you wouldn't want to end up finishing your heat with that in your final two-wave score. So some missed opportunities. I would think that if that tide has started to turn, we're seeing some consistency.
Out there in yellow at this stage, so let's see what happens here. Again, it's no issue for Laura because she's been really focused on the left. So Tyler's going to get a shot at another right-hander here. She had a 5.67 on the last wave. She's moving ahead of Laura with each ride. And that's a pretty short wave, Ross, but a couple of big moves that should get rid of the 2.7.
Not bad. You know, it should be similar, just a mediocre score, just because she kind of got cramped. You know, she got, stuck right behind that braking section where she was constantly climbing and trying to reach that green wall, that open wall. So that's going to keep the score just okay. But, a decent snap right there. Probably her best move right there, kind of snapping it right off the top in the pocket. And she actually threw some spray up, out, and over the back. Just a floating re-entry there. So 3 decent maneuvers. In fact, upon replay, watching that replay, I think maybe just a little better than her 5.6. So now we'll see if Laura can deal with a little bit of pressure.
To get herself into the lead, Laura's been focusing on the lefts, and as a result, maybe it has even missed some opportunity, Ross, on those right-handers.
Yeah, I agree with that strategy. I definitely think that's it lends to her strengths, but
I was clear and void of any expectation, I think, Tyler paddling.
Tyler having a look at this one, trying to get rid of a 5.67. Has that drive and that projection floater that she can go to get down the line here. Maybe an advantage over some of her rivals on the championship tour, and she finishes a short one. That was pretty amazing, that world title year. An incredible finish in Hawaii for you, Barton. And it's great to be able to just get your insights on this current race. Did you ever keep an eye on what your world title rivals were doing through events as well, or would you just focus on what you had to do?
No, I put too much energy into them, I would dare say, in reflection. I really was very conscious. I kept my own ratings. I didn't need to look at Al Hunt's ratings as they came out because I kept them myself. I was very sort of in control of all of those elements, so I knew exactly what everything meant. Look at the size of this set, Ronnie. What? Laura's in a great position of paddling. Back
to live action. Cheers, Barton. Laura Enever, perhaps with her best opportunity to get a big number on the board, but that wave is a fizzer, and she kicks out. There's one out the back that's maybe got a bit more potential, but the best of it has already gone begging, and Laura's just going to have to try and get back out there and be patient and surf. A 9.5 minute heat, Ross. She's been so good at putting big heat score totals up on her run through this comp, but she's dropping the ball at the worst possible time.
Yeah, it really has. As Barton Litch mentioned, Tyler Wright kind of leaving that door open, especially, in terms of what she is capable of, with all these 5s and 6s. So Laura not taking advantage. And then you just saw in that last wave, that was by far, I thought, the best surfing done in this heat from Tyler. Even though it was kind of a short wave, you could see that just a little bit of extra speed and zip off those turns. That's always dangerous. Once these surfers at this caliber find that magic spot in their board, it's looking really good. It's going to be tough for Laura to get back in this heat now.
Carissa Moore getting psyched. And Steph Gilmore looks a little bit more lively than she did in the lead up to a heat against Courtney. She was enjoying a snooze earlier today. She went on to win that heat, so she's obviously ramped up for a huge battle with Carissa as we see Laura up. And this is going to be her best wave. This might put her back into this heat with just over 7 minutes to go, a clean finish. She was comboed, so that should get her out of trouble, Ross. She was chasing a two-wave total of 13.41. She'll probably still need a pretty decent number going into the back half, the last 7 minutes of this heat, but job done there.
What I like about Laura surfing is she never holds back. So you just never know with her. You know, she's so capable of getting back into the seat with an excellent score. This, I don't think, is going to be one of those excellent scores, but you can see the intent. You know, waiting for that wave to cooperate, it just kind of kept shutting her down. So she was forced to fit a couple of maneuvers in there. There again, just off the lip in the whitewash there, not even a clean lip line. But what makes her dangerous is I never see Laura surf tentative. You know, she just throws everything out of section. So as long as she's not comboed, which now she finally has broken that, she is still in this heat. She does that same thing with progression and you know, off the lips and that kind of you know, not just shallow reef point or barrels. You know, she also does that with you know, if a big closeout section comes her way, she just is fearless with it. So we love that tenacity from Laura.
Here goes Tyler Wright once again, and she throws a huge fin throw for that first move. So well rounded, mixing things up, has the rail turns to complement that fins free approach. And as I mentioned earlier, is just an expert small wave specialist.
That was so impressive right there. That was, I think, the best surfing performed so far in this heat.
4.5 minutes to go. Tyler Wright, from an incredible surfing family, just shows some of that talent on this first section.
Wow, right there, kicking that tail out all on purpose, you know, and so that's that progression, getting down the line on a wave that really wasn't allowing her, and she just climbed over top of it. So pretty much Tyler refusing to get bogged down. This is the first wave where I really feel like she's totally switched on and, you know, looking confident. Yeah, she needs a giant set to come in and maybe go back to that left. That her backhand, that's a strength, but you can see the ocean right now, it's looking pretty calm. So that yellow jersey is going to be looking a little brighter when they go to Europe.
30 seconds remaining. Laura, she can't see much happening out there on the horizon. There might be a small lump approaching, but again, a 9-point ride. That's a big ask. It's gonna take some special kind of surfing, and I don't think it's going to happen. So Laura Enever hugs it out with Tyler Wright. Tyler, she'll be meeting up with Sage Eriksson in the first semi-final. That's going to be a great clash. But this one has come to a close, and Tyler wins through with a heat score total of 13.5.